So we just took a vent off, and underneath the vent is rotting wood, completely rotting wood. It's completely soaked. And we thought that it might just be the vent that we need to replace, but we looked underneath this paper and we saw that there was mold growing. So that's mold right there, underneath there. So that has nothing to do with vent installation. That's the roof itself. And they installed the roof properly. We looked at how this roof was installed, and it was installed completely right. And there's no reason it should be leaking at all. But every single one of these, not vents specifically, this vent was leaking. That's a wet spot right there. And there's another wet spot right there. If you could see it there, that's the wet spot right there. And that's caused from this vent right here. But there's also wet spots down there. That's a wet spot, and that's from this ridge right here. So the ridge was even leaking. And if you look at how the ridge was installed right here, everything is done properly. They nailed it right here, just as they should, and they put the next shingle over. So they started right here. Let's just say they nailed it, and then they put this over the nails about an inch or two maybe, and then they just did the same thing over and over again. They did the ridge properly, but it's leaking for some reason. And now this plywood is soaked, has mold on it, it's rotting. You could literally, here's a finger of mine, and I'm moving the wood. It's like bending underneath my finger. It's completely rotting wood. I'm barely pulling. This is one finger. I'm not even straining my voice. And I talked to my boss, Andrew, who used to work as a roofer, and he said, yeah, if the wood, if you can move it with your fingers, if it's rotting, then there's nothing that you could do. You have to replace the plywood and basically everything on top of it, because your structural integrity of your roof is gone. And this was installed properly. I don't know. Brian came up here, and the insurance agent who checked this out, and he said, oh, your roof looks awesome. It looks like it's got another 15 years on it. But just because of what it looks like from the top does not mean that it's good from what's going on from the bottom. And Brian didn't go into the attic, and he didn't check the structural integrity of the plywood itself. He just said it looks good. He never actually checked it out himself. He never saw the wet spots in the insulation or anything like that. I don't know if he did or not. But I don't even feel safe walking on this. It's just caving. You can't really see it. It looks a lot more from my foot, but I'm barely touching it, and it's moving about half an inch right now, maybe an inch. Yeah, like an inch right now, and I'm barely tapping it. And I could do that with my finger too. Easily. There you go, moving half an inch again. This one, especially over here, is moving half an inch. I could pull this out with my hands. I could break this plywood with my hands right now. And you should not be able to do that with plywood. So the inside, the insulation is wet. There is mold inside our attic, and mold should at least be covered. I get that insulation insurance does not cover. I understand that. But I don't know. We could do the work ourselves with the mold on the inside and everything. We're just asking at least cover the materials for replacing the plywood and the shingles. And if you guys could do that, I already bought vents. I was going to replace the vents today. If you guys could at least pay for the materials or something, or you guys can pay for the materials and we'll pay for the work, that'd be great. Okay.